Hello Divination and welcome. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to download and install our free header and footer for Divi's classroom layout pack. This is the final result we're aiming to achieve. So without wasting a lot of time, let's dive in and let's get started. All right, so the first thing we need to do is to head over to this blog post, which I'll link to in the show notes below. Now we need to download the layout. So I'm going to come over here to get it for free today. Enter my email address, click on download, and then download the files. Okay, so you can see here the files have been downloaded. So what I need to do next is to unzip this file. So I'm going to come over here, show in Finder. I'm going to double click on it. And here it is on my desktop, and you may notice that it has a .json file. So it's very important that you first unzip it, otherwise this won't work. So I'm just going to drag this over to my other screen so I can show you how to install this header and footer. Now, before I go ahead and do that, I'd like to show you what the website looks like before we add the header and footer. So as you can see here, we have a standard header, and if I scroll all the way down here, this is our standard footer. This is what you get out of the box when you install Divi. So what we're going to do now is to add our header and footer. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here to Divi, click on Theme Builder, and over here we have this portability. So I'm going to click here on these two arrows, and I'm now going to click on Import. Now remember, we unzipped that file earlier on, and here it is. I'm just going to drag and drop it here like that. Or the other way you could do it is by clicking anywhere here and then navigating to the folder where that file is downloaded. Okay, so now I'm going to click on Import Divi Theme Builder Template. Okay, so now you can see I have my header and footer installed, but right now I have no idea what it looks like. So let's take a quick look. So I'm going to hit Save Changes. And then over here, I'm just going to refresh this. And here we go. So now this is our brand new header. And if I click over here to the right on this hamburger, it now shows all my links. So here are my quick links. You have the calendar, the schedule, the assignments, the resources, and I also have some flashcards here, assignments, video lessons, and calendar. So as you can see, this is a really cool way of having our header here. We also have these links to get in touch. So we have the email, we also have the phone number, and we can also send a message. Now this is very simple, and it is very, very easy for students to find out what they need to click to access their information. Now on the top here, we also have these two buttons. We also have the login button and the assignments button. Okay, so what I'm going to do next is to just scroll down so we can see what this looks like on the footer. So I'm going to scroll all the way down here to the bottom. And now you can see we have this beautiful footer. It also has our quick links, and it has this bright get in touch contact form. And we also have a newsletter. So this is our footer. So what I'm going to do next is to show you how you can go in and customize this, just in case you may be having your own colors, your own branding, your own fonts. So I can just show you quickly how you can go in and customize that. All right, so back over here to our theme builder, I'm going to now start with the header. I'm going to click on the pencil icon. Okay, so now we are in our builder. So the first thing we need to start with here is our main header area. So I'm going to click on my section settings here, go to background, and as you can see, this is our background color. So I can just change my color just by doing that. So if you want to add a specific color, you can just go in and add your color this way. But I'm not going to change any colors here. So I'm going to close out of here. Next, we have our image settings here. Now this has been assigned to our logo. So you can see here, this is dynamically linking. So if you set this up on your own site, it will add your logo. So that's the really cool thing about this header and footer template. Okay, so that's all that there is to it. But there's also something that is that you may need to be aware of, and that is if the logo is slightly big, you can just come over here and adjust the logo size. So you can see as I'm dragging this, the width is getting smaller, and you can also use, maximum width here. But this is where you need to go if you need to adjust the size. Okay, so moving on, we have these two buttons. So the most important thing with the buttons here is to make sure you add your button URL. So I'm going to add a blank one here, but in your case, you need to add a link to the assignment page or the login page in the case of this one here. And then if you want to change the colors and the text, you want to come over here to the design tab, click on button. And now you can start playing around with the text color and so on. So here you can see I've just updated my text color. Now, if you want to work on the background color, you can just come over here, add your background color just like that. So as you can see, it is quite easy to go in and make your updates to your buttons. And if you want to change your font, you can just scroll further down here and choose the font you want. So in this case, let's say I want to use Work Sans. There you go. You can see here it's been updated. All right, so that is how you update the buttons. But the most important thing, as I mentioned earlier on, is to make sure you add your button URL. Okay, so the same applies to this one here. These are both buttons, so the settings are the same. Now, over here on the bottom, this is where you can also make some changes to the text by coming over here. Now, all these text modules work the same. Once you go into the text settings, here we just need to identify the headings, and in this case it's heading 3. But also a quick way of doing it is just by clicking on this paintbrush icon, and this will take you straight to heading 3. You can change your font over here. So let's say you want to change this to Work Sans. And if you want to change the color, you can change the color over here. If you want to change the weight, you can just do that over here. And further down, you can set your sizes. So these are the tweaks that you can do to all these text modules. Okay, I'm going to close out of that. Same applies here. Now this is a blurb, so I'm going to show you how to make changes to that. So over here, the most important thing is the email. So this is where you want to add your email address. So update it here. Now, when it comes to the icons, if I click on this paintbrush icon, it's going to take us here. And this is where you can change your icon color. You can change to whatever color you want. And also, when it comes to the font itself, you can come over here and change this from Montserrat to, say, Kandal. You see, so this is how you update it, and you can change the colors over here as well. Okay, so that is how you update your text. So this here is a button. It can be updated the same way I've shown you here on the top. Now let's take a look at this part here, the resources. So for the resources, the first thing you want to do is to find out where we get that blue background. So I'm going to come to my middle column here, go to background. And as you can see, this is where we get it. So you can change the color quickly by just doing that. And then we can just close out of here. Next, now we can go into each individual module here. And as you can see, these are blurbs as well. So you can change the text here from assignments to whatever it is that you want to assign this to. And notice we also have the option for a link. So this is where you need to add your link. Okay, it's very important that you add your link here because when your students come, they need to know that when they click on assignments, it takes them to the assignments. It's very important. Okay, so that's how you do that. Now over here on the design, you can go to image and icon. And as you can see here, everything is all centered. But in this case, this here is an image. So let me show you how it's added. So I'm going to come back over here to image and icon. And this is our image. Okay, so this is what you can go in. You can change this to something else. So let's say you want to add this one. You can see quickly here it's been updated. Okay, so I'm just gonna close out of here. So you need to do the same to these ones. So as you can see, when I hover over them, you can go individually into each and every one of these and make your updates. Okay, so over here again, these are just links. So I'm gonna come over here to the first one so I can show you how to update it. So first of all, add your button URL over here. Now, if you want to make changes to the links, you need to come over here to design, click on button, and you can start off by maybe perhaps increasing the size. So you can see over there, the size is increasing. Okay. And the colors, if you want to change the colors, this is where you would come and change the colors. So this is a background color, but if you want to keep it simple, like how it is right now, you can just do that. and your text color can be updated here. So you can see now there it has been updated. Now, if you want to change the font, this is where you can change it. You can just come over here, and let's say you want to go with Rock and Roll 1. That's the font there. So that is how you go in and make changes or updates to your existing header. So I'm just going to close out of here, and I'm not going to save anything. Now let's move on to the footer. So I'm going to come over here, click this pencil icon. So notice that when I make all these changes, all the updates are being applied across the whole website. All right, so this is our footer. So first of all, let's work with the newsletter. So I'm going to click on this gear icon to go into my newsletter. Now, this is very important that you set this up correctly, because if you don't, then all these subscribers will not be added to a database. So you need to have a email service provider in the first place, and there's quite a few to choose from. And once you've done that, you also need to create an email list in the email service provider dashboard. So once you do that, you come over here to email account. Now, as you can see, there's so many providers here. There's quite a few to choose from. You select your provider, and once you've selected your provider, you come over here to your list. Now, when you click here, it will show the list that you'll have created. So by doing that, you've just matched these fields here with what you have in your email service provider. So every time someone subscribes, they'll be added to that email list. Okay, so once you've done that, you just click on add, and pretty much this is connected. Next, you can come over here now to success action. Now, the success action here is also very important, because this just gives a message when they hit subscribe. So this is a nice way of letting people know that what they've done is working, and what they need to look forward to. And also, if you wanted to redirect to a specific page, you need to first create the page, and you can name this page a thank you, or whatever you want to name it, and then you can select it here. So what happens now is when someone hits subscribe, they will be taken to the page that you would have created. Personally, I prefer that option, but it's up to you how you want to have it. Either way, things will just work. Okay, so once you've done that, everything is all set up. Now, let's say you want to change the color of this button. All you have to do is to click here on this paintbrush icon, and this now takes you to your button styles. So this is where you can change your text color by coming over here. You can change your button background color. You can also change the border radius and change the font, make it all caps. So you can change all these things. And then finally, if you're happy with this, just go ahead and save. Now, in this case, I am not going to save this, so I'm just going to close out of that. Now, all these links here are all text links. They pretty much can be adjusted the same way I showed you earlier on, and the same applies here on the bottom as well. Finally, let's take a look here at this form. So this form, I'm just going to go into our contact form settings. So the first thing you need to do here is to come over to email, enter your email address, because you want that when people fill in this form, their message gets sent to your email address. And just like with the email subscriber thing, you can also enable a redirect after an email has been sent to tell them, confirmation that, the email has been sent, and so on. You may also need to add your capture to reduce spam. So by doing that, they just need to do a bit of math here, add the answer, and then hit submit. Okay, so pretty much that's all that there is to this footer. Go ahead, try it out, and see how it works for you. So there you have it. Thank you all for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up, and do follow us on our social media platforms. By doing so, you'll be notified every time we release new tutorials. Until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.